Do you not think that that was something of a car crash, and do you think that will damage the standing of your party at the next election?
No, I don't think so. I think there is a problem with anti-Semites in the party, of course. I know that. We've tried to root them all out. Unfortunately, when Jeremy got elected, we had about 200,000 members, and when Jeremy got elected, one about 500,000. And I think we've got a lot of them people coming in who have this idea of being anti-Semitic, and thought it was the right thing to do by going online and saying these things about the Jewish community. And I think we've got to try and weed them people out of the party.
But why do those people think that the Labour Party's the home for them? That's the question,
exactly.
Isn't it?
That's what I was going to say. We don't want them. Yeah, you're not welcome. The Labour Party, I've been in it for nearly 50-odd years. It's an inclusive party. It's a great party. It takes all people in. And with our brothers and sisters, as far as I'm concerned. And these people who are coming in and doing this should leave and leave tomorrow.
Well, you say this, but I mean, even leading Hindus, the Hindu Council yesterday accused the Labour leadership of supporting Muslim extremists who openly loathe Jews and Hindus accused Jeremy Corbyn of veering towards, in their words, an almost fascist ideology. They backed the Chief Rabbi in his attack on Labour.
Yeah. They're only a small minority, and not a mass one. They're in all parties, you know. Not only the Labour Party, other parties have them, and them people should think of what they're saying, what they're doing. If they think like that, please leave the Labour Party.
Well, hold on a minute, Ronnie. This is because even on the day that we had this criticism from the Chief Rabbi, on the very day that Jeremy Corbyn was launching his Race and Faith initiative, we spoke to Stephen Timms, his new envoy on that. On yesterday, while this criticism was ongoing, before that interview with Andrew Neil, he stood on a podium in North London yesterday with other Labour candidates, including one who defended Ken Livingstone after he likened a Jewish reporter to a concentration camp guard, and also another who had talked about Saudi Arabia's leaders being inspired by their Zionist masters. I mean, now, but wait a minute. No, well, yours. No, let me, Ronnie, let me finish the question. Ronnie, please, Ronnie, let me finish the question, Ronnie. You're saying these people have no place in the Labour Party and you need to root them out, and the Labour Party is working on getting rid of those people, and they're a small minority. These are candidates to be MPs in your party. They're standing next to the party leader.
Yeah. Well, these are few. You're tar them all with the same brush. Well, not tarred with the same brush. There's people in the Labour Party been in like me for years have never said one word against the Jews or anybody for that matter.
Absolutely. No, I don't think anyone is suggesting that the vast majority of people involved in the Labour movement and Labour Party, Labour MPs are anti-Semitic. However, you are seeing this again and again and again. Do you think there's an element where, with Jeremy Corbyn refusing to apologise yesterday, when asked to apologise to Jewish people and to the Chief Rabbi for the concerns over his failure to deal with anti-Semitism, do you think did he not apologise because he's not sorry, or did he not apologise because he actually he doesn't think it's a good idea to apologise because actually this isn't playing badly for him with a lot of voters?
I think, in all fairness, you should apologise to them Jewish people who feel offended for what's been said in the past. Now, there's new guidelines. We've signed up to them new guidelines last year. We signed up to them. And what we should be doing now is reading them. All party members should be giving them guidelines and how to act and how to talk when you're talking about minorities like the Jewish and the Muslims and Catholics and you name it, religious people. And we have to keep to that. And if you're a candidate to be an MP, for God's sake, read the rules before you open your mouth and put your brain into gear.
Well, again, I suppose people are more concerned not that people say these things, but that people think these things in the first place. Let's also talk about
Julie, people say these things because they're not aware. They used to say them in the past, and they're not aware now that there's a new ethic on what you can say and what you can't say in these matters. In the old days, we used to say it. It was like that there was part, off guarded. What he used to say on the television, we used to laugh and roar. See it now.
But hold on a minute. I don't think there are new rules and etiquettes regarding talking about anti-Semitic tropes.
There is. We've signed up to them.
Well, no, but no, well, no, but in terms of most people's understanding about what is right and wrong, I don't think those rules have changed. I've always managed to have criticism of the Israeli government without at any point falling into the sort of trope that Adolf Hitler would like.
You have to be careful being critical of the Israeli government, of course.
No,
you have to be very careful.
No, you don't.
Because
you can criticise the Israeli government anytime you want.
They can turn that on a sixpence.
Well,
if you're critical of anybody in Israel and what they're doing in Israel, they could turn that on a sixpence, mate. You've got to be very careful. You
can criticise numerous policies by the Israeli government, resettlement, the settlement camp. You can criticise how they handle Gaza, but that doesn't make you anti-Semitic. However, if you then say if you regard Israel as a Zionist state who has no right to exist, yes, that is anti-Semitic.
Well, that's for heaven's sake. Some people said that, and they're the minority people.
Okay, can I
speak? The people I would like to leave the Labour Party. Please go.
Ronnie, can I just ask you briefly also about one of the key issues yesterday in that interview with Andrew Neil, your party leader, and that was about tax. The claim in the manifesto is that huge amounts of extra spending and investment, £83 billion in current expenditure, huge sums being promised by the Labour Party on tax, so pay rises and spending on the NHS, etc. But we've been told again and again only the top 5% of earners will pay any extra tax for that. Yesterday it was exposed by Andrew Neil as simply not being the case, that people even on very low incomes are going to actually have to pay extra taxes. Do you think that it was wrong for the Labour Party to claim that it was ever the case they could fund all of that extra spending without putting taxes up for ordinary people?
Well, I haven't looked at it actually, so I wouldn't know. I would have to have a good look.
But you've been around for a long time, Ronnie. £83 billion of funding isn't going to come from just taxing the richer bit more.
I haven't seen the Grey Book until I have a look at that and see where the money is coming from. But I know one thing: we've suffered, and the people out there, and many people in my constituency, have suffered 10 years of austerity, and it's time they got some money back.
Well, and a lot of people will absolutely want there to be that extra spending, but doesn't your party leader have a duty of care to British voters to be honest that, look, we want to spend this extra money, but like every other country that has that level of public spending, we have to raise taxes.
Unfortunately, so we'll have to see. I hear what some pundits say, and I'm dodgy about something, especially Paul Johnson. I think he's a card-carrying member of the Tory party, Paul Johnson.
But I
don't think he is. I listen to the economists. And I listen very carefully to what they say because I'm not an economist. And I listen very carefully to what some of them said, not all of them, to bring on the ones that want to bring on, of course.